Right, so guys, let's take a look now at the actual first reactions of The Little Mermaid. Oh, fuck these bloody pop-ups.
It's a triumph. There's absolutely nothing to hate about it.
No, well, so that's what I thought, and then some were
I
being
know.
oddly honest, actually, which speaks volumes
Yeah.
because that the fact that they were being honest, I mean, speaks volumes. They're not normally honest like that. So, The Little Mermaid is a live-action remake that retains the heart and soul of the story we know and love, and it's elevated even further by a note-perfect star-making performance from Halle Bailey. She was born to be on the big screen, and she's why this new take is worth watching. All right. That again, there's a lot of what you expect, but I'll chime in on the ones which are hilariously dumb, and there's a lot of them. Eric Davies says Disney's The Little Mermaid is definitely one of the better live-action adaptations. It's not saying much. Halle Bailey pours incredible emotion into Ariel, and I got chills watching her, while Melissa McCarthy's Ursula and David Diggs' Sebastian still scenes all day. The Little Mermaid is a tribute to all little girls to dream big. Halle Bailey is sheer magic, and David Diggs is a delight as Sebastian. This is a fucking awful picture to use.
Oh,
it is horrendous.
Keep going.
So bad. Oh yeah, this is hilarious.
Yes.
The Little Mermaid, charming but incredibly spotty. Halle Bailey, Jonah Howard King, Melissa McCarthy, and Javier Bardem put their heart and souls into a film that can't escape its animated legacy.
Imagine that.
Yeah, exactly. But when it leans into campy bonkers, yet limits its fantasy elements for no reasons. Or when it leans into campy bonkers, yet limits its fantasy elements for no reason.
So that is okay. Let me interpret that for a moment, though. What that means is that the added stuff that we were asking earlier means they added a bunch of bullshit stuff to this movie that makes no sense, probably. Because, like she just said here, when it limits its fantasy elements
for no reason. But it's a Little Mermaid. The whole thing's fantasy. Why are you limiting it?
Yeah,
what on earth?
It sounds like I hate saying it, but it just sounds like a campy version of the movie, of the cartoon, probably.
Yeah. And then we had this. God, terrible. From Germaine Lucier. Says, it's real simple. Are you excited for The Little Mermaid? You'll like it. It's exactly what you think it is. Are you skeptical and worried about it? That's valid too. It looks weird and disjointed. Bailey is great.
What the fuck?
I know. I know. McCarthy rules. The songs work, but it just feels so unnecessary. Well, that's because, Jermaine, all the live action remakes are fucking cash grabs. So they're all unnecessary. You absolute idiot. Like, your Access Media shill dumbass can't even conjure up the conviction to say that. I mean, come on.
Do one thing for me. Take out "you'll like it" out of that sentence.
Yeah, it's exactly what you think. Yeah,
it's real simple. Are you excited for The Little Mermaid? It's exactly what you think it is. Are you skeptical and worried about it? That's valid too. It looks weird and disjointed. Yes, we've seen that in the janky videos that we've seen. The Kiss the Girl video that came out during the MTV Movie Awards. You can't see anything.
Fuck it out.
You have to like squint and try to make out what's going on because it's so dark and dingy looking. And then like the shot I just sent you guys with the under the sea business. It's bright, but it looks fake as hell.
It's bad. It's real bad. The whole thing.
It doesn't have any of the charm at all. Like there's no charm in it at all. It feels sterile.
Well, someone comments on the VFX, the water VFX, right? Endearing but uneven. Yeah. So Simon says, endearing but uneven. The Little Mermaid doesn't deliver the magic of the animated classic, but there are plenty of creative touches from Rob Marshall to float the audience's boats. Halle Bailey and Melissa McCarthy are great. David Diggs and Awkwafina provide solid comic relief. And this is the real bad one from Matt Neglia. It may look visually rough under the sea. A fucking mermaid film looks bad under the sea? That's got to be the majority of the film, isn't it? Or at least a large portion.
Yeah, definitely.
First half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So you got to sit there and watch absolute trash. Fucking hell. But The Little Mermaid eventually recreates some of the original's magic through its timeless story and cast. David Diggs and Melissa McCarthy are highlights, but Halle Bailey is the one astonishes with her gorgeous singing and empathetic charm. And then we have this. The Little Mermaid makes it pretty close to being the best live-action Disney movie. However, it still struggles in the villain department. Halle Bailey is Ariel, and I had literal chills throughout her performance. This is a Little Mermaid retelling like you've never seen before. That's because this is the only Little Mermaid retelling.
But we have seen this before.
Well, yeah, the first one. Goodness me. And then again, yeah, the usual thing. The Little Mermaid is the best Disney live-action adaptation to date. Halle Bailey is Ariel. Major props to the sound effects team. Good changes, though one new song with too much auto-tune. Could watch this version's Under the Sea all day. It was the highlight of the whole thing.
I'm just waiting to see the comment of this movie was stunning and brave. Like, I know it's coming. It's out there somewhere.
I watched a minute. I watched a minute of Under the Sea. If that's the highlight, this movie's in fucking trouble. Big trouble.
It wasn't made for us, Tom. It wasn't made for us.
True. You
technically, it kind of was.
Well, you have this. This is the be all and end all. The Little Mermaid is fantastic. Rob Marshall's great direction gives us one of Disney's best live-action remakes and a joyful theatrical experience. Halle Bailey is perfect as Ariel and is the heart of the movie. It's an enchanting journey under the sea. I can't wait to rewatch. Right, general thoughts. Let's go.
Well, just to go off of what Nick just said, it is kind of made for us, at least in the sense that this was my last Disney movie. Like, this was my last movie when I was a kid. It was a Disney movie. After that, by the time Aladdin and stuff like that had come out, I was already getting to be a teenager. So this was the last Disney movie to come out when I was a kid. So this is, when you say this isn't made for me, I say, yeah, technically it was. This is my era is Disney. And I think you're around the same age as me, Nick. So,
yeah. I had two sisters, and of course, we only had one TV in the house in that day and age, and so yeah, I was forced to watch it a lot of times.
Well, I actually enjoyed it. I saw it in the theater.
I liked it.
Even if the main character was a girl, that didn't matter to me then. Yeah. I loved the music. Without even knowing it then, it was the same guys who did Little Shop of Horrors, which I was also a fan of.
Yeah. Oh, my dad hated that movie because I'd watch it over and over. And he's like, oh, this again?
But yeah, no, I'm very disappointed by this. Not that it's just that it exists in general. I wouldn't care who it was. If it was a white girl, a Hispanic girl.
You guys think this is going to shock us, like box office wise, like Avatar 2 did?
I have been kind of saying that this is the thing with these remakes. They all make $1 billion. They all have. So I won't be surprised when this one does too. Because this has one of the bigger soundtracks of them all too. Look like you do. You could look at. I mean, all like that you want culture.
It's not going to make.
I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. The only reason I think you might be right now is because of Guardians.
Yep. Nobody trusts Disney. It doesn't matter if it's Marvel, Star Wars, whatever. People are coming around to the idea that Disney is not a good company anymore. They're not a family company. You know, look, I'm sorry. That's I'm not going to. I will not see Little Mermaid. I won't see it.
Yeah, same.
Unless I make you for the channel.
Fudge.
Unless Mr. I won't make you because I don't know whether I'm gonna be able to put myself through that in the theater either.
Yeah,
like genuinely, like yeah, I don't know whether I'm gonna be able to watch it.
It's not even worth. It's not even worth the review. I mean, you know,
I tried to watch most of the things that the majority of the things we talk about, 99% of them I will absolutely watch because I feel it's incredibly important if you're commenting on this stuff to go out and watch it as well, especially keeping up to track, keeping up to date on what the industry is when you're talking about the industry as a whole. But fucking hell, this Jesus, like I don't know if I could bring myself to watch this. There's a lot that I bring myself to watch, but this I don't know if I can.
I mean, honestly, Nate, I would if it wasn't for the length. Right? Like, there's
how long is it then?
It's over 2 hours, that I know.
Yeah, no, that's if it was an hour and a half. I would consider it, maybe. Over 2 hours. Nah, definitely not. Nah.
Says exactly 2 hours here.
Oh,
Culture, I think,
another
makes a
one.
good
I got another
point,
one
though.
though that says 2 hours and 15 minutes. So sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, culture does make a good point on more and more people are waking up to Disney shenanigans and kind of canceling their Disney Plus subscriptions, not going and seeing their movies, not going to the theme park.
Yep.
Because in my personal life, I've literally have seen people that and have talked to friends and acquaintances of mine that are like, yeah, I'm kind of done with all the Disney stuff. Not paying for it anymore, that sort of thing. So, yeah, if this thing makes $1 billion, I'll be shocked. Honestly, I will be.
I can't see how it will. Disney's alienated their audience. I mean, Nick is speaking the facts. You're watching Disney roll back a bunch of policies that they were desperately trying to keep in place for their theme park experiences. They've reintroduced the idea of having dining plans and things like that, which they were trying to eliminate as well. They've rolled back a lot of the perks that they eliminated and are trying to bring them back. They're all in an effort to retain or recover guests that they've lost to baloney. I mean, and that's why, Universal's stealing their market share, but it's not just in the films. It's also in the television products. It's also in their cable channels. I mean, yes, cable and satellite are slowly losing ground. That's true, but Disney's losing ground faster, and they have been for quite some time. Disney Plus has not been the win that they were hoping for. And like I said, you can't trust them. You really can't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you are right. Like, and again, Nick, you anecdotally, culture, you're saying it as well. But I think generally speaking, we see that. We see the disinterest from people, the disenfranchisement of people from Disney as a whole. I think that's definitely a thing. They've ramped up their marketing for the parks as well in the UK, very specific tailored ads to the UK, but they're almost like it's like some like random weird deals that I've seen advertised now, like over on YouTube and things, like again YouTube adverts for the Disney parks. So I think they know it as well. But in terms of this making $1 billion, I don't know. I don't see it personally. Like I keep looking at it, I'm like, how is this movie ever going to make that much money? You've pigeonholed yourself into a tiny market share. Tiny market share, which is young women, young girls. I can't see that being a huge success. Now, ordinarily, people would go, well, yeah, like never underestimate the power of, screaming young children. Yeah, normally young girls, when it's screaming towards like some weird Twinkie boy that they love, right? Like we say about this with Timothy Chalamet. This Ariel, Little Mermaid? No, I don't see it. I think we can underestimate that. Well, it won't be an underestimation. I think we can estimate that probably won't do massively well because they've just
they don't. Yeah. They're not expecting it to perform well. Even they aren't, based on their own internal projections. I mean, again, we visited this subject before. They're anticipating what 70 to 90 million opening weekend on Little Mermaid.
Yeah,
very low.
Good.
Wow, that's less than Guardian.
Yeah. Yeah, and that film's not going to make $1 billion. I don't know. I don't think it's going to have a good hold. It has competition coming in almost right away.
Well, so go into what Tom. Sorry to interrupt, but go into what you said, Tom. So you said about all these movies hitting $1 billion, right? How many of those movies were out pre-Disney Plus? Because I think that actually matters. Because I bet you anything, the majority of them would have been out pre-Disney Plus. And a lot of them, the ones which have now seen the steady decline, would have been released during Disney Plus's, sort of release and it being pushed into the forefront of Disney's how they market and distribute their products now. Do you know what was released pre-Disney Plus or afterwards? Or is Tom dead? Is he gone?
I think he died.
Oh, he's dead.
That's a good question, though.
It is a good question. I would suspect. Okay, so we got Disney Plus in 2019.
Why is there 2 Tom Connors?
Hi, Tom.
Because my PC froze.
Oh. Did you hear what Nate was saying?
Part of it. As far as like them being released with Disney Plus being out. Like, I don't know.
So Disney Plus
Mulan is the only one we really
November
have to go
12th,
on by, but that's not a very good one, really.
Well, no,
Aladdin
but we do
still did well.
What was that? Pre-Disney Plus?
No, Mulan was right during smack dab in the middle or beginning of Disney Plus.
Mulan was, but I think Aladdin came out after Disney Plus as well.
Did it?
I think so. And this one again with Aladdin, same kind of thing. The soundtrack.
I could have sworn Aladdin was pre-Disney Plus.
I think, the live action Aladdin.
Yeah, because it was pre. Yeah,
that's when people liked Will Smith still.
Well, I
just say don't underestimate these damn things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tom, look, I respect you, dude. It wouldn't surprise me if you're right. Actually, it would surprise me if you're right, but because of you said it might not be as big a surprise.
Look, first of all, everybody hated that Beauty and the Beast remake. Still made $1 billion.
Yeah.
Why? Because there's even people in our community who will tell you how bad Disney is. It's this, it's that, it's the other. But there's still some of the same ones that go to the theme park every weekend.
Yeah, that is true, actually. Yeah, you are right.
Yeah.
It's right. There are Diz nerds who just cannot. It's like a drug. They can't turn it off, regardless of how they know what it's doing to them. They know what Disney's doing. They know all these things. I mean, even all of us here on this panel are technically guilty because we went and saw Guardians of the Galaxy last weekend.
I didn't.
Well, I guess you lucked out on that, Nick. But at the same time, I'm sure you got Disney Plus. You do a lot of Star Wars stuff. So it's just, in that sense, look, we have certain excuses and reasons why, but at the same time, there's certain people who I see come into our chats all the time and say the same kind of things. And like, yes, to a point, it is possible to cut Disney out of your life for the most part, but at the same time, it's not. Like they are so embedded in everything. It's almost like trying to say, well, get Walmart out of your life or get Amazon out of your life. It's like, it's not as easy. It's easier said than done in certain cases. No,
because they own ABC, ESPN.
Exactly. How many radio stations and everything?
So much stuff.
Yeah.
I look, and not to offer it up as an excuse, but it is a little different when we're here trying to give well-informed opinions and intelligent conversation around these things if we haven't seen them. Oftentimes I consider it taking the hit. I will take the hit so you don't have to. And to be fair, I mean, if I weren't doing this, if I were not doing YouTube, for whatever reason, right, I probably wouldn't have seen Guardians of the Galaxy this last weekend. I probably wouldn't have seen a lot of films that I've seen. I mean, I've been turned off by Disney. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's Star Wars or something animated. They've literally destroyed my opinion of their brand.
Oh yeah, a lot of people feel that way for sure.
Yeah, agree with that.
Yeah, man.